Chapter 11. The life that waited. The world did not rush her. It unfolded, step by step, breath by breath. The luminous horizon drew closer, not because she chased it, but because she no longer resisted where she stood. The city of light wasn't loud or overwhelming. It was familiar. As she entered, the air shifted gently, like a memory recognizing its owner. Structures rose around her, not built of stone, but of intention. Soft, glowing forms shaped by choices, by courage, by truth once denied and now reclaimed. "This place," she whispered. "You built it," the balanced figure said. She turned, confusion flickering. "I've never been here." "You've always been here," they corrected softly. "Just not consciously." Her chest tightened. "This is the life that formed every time you chose yourself. Even in the smallest ways. Every quiet no, every moment you held on, every time you felt fear and didn't disappear." The ground beneath her feet glowed brighter, responding to her understanding. "But I didn't always choose myself," she said, voice fragile. "No," the figure nodded, "but you never fully abandoned yourself either. And that is why this world waited." The words settled deep. Waited, not judged, not closed, not taken away. Waited. She looked around again, really looked this time. The flowing rivers, the breathing light, the stillness that felt alive. None of it demanded anything from her. It reflected her. "Will it disappear if I leave?" she asked quietly. The figure smiled, not distant, not mysterious, but certain. "This world doesn't exist somewhere else," they said. "It exists when you do." A soft wind moved through the city, brushing against her skin like reassurance. And suddenly, she understood. This wasn't an escape. This wasn't a reward. This was alignment. The life she thought she had to find had been forming inside her all along, waiting for her to arrive. Not as someone new, but as someone true? Her eyes softened, no longer searching. "I think," she whispered. "I'm ready." The world didn't react. It didn't need to, because this time, she wasn't asking for permission. Chapter 12, The Return begins. The world began to fade. Not suddenly, gently, like a dream that didn't want to end. The city of light softened at the edges, its glow dimming into something quieter, more distant. The air thinned, the warmth in her chest flickering, not disappearing, but changing, becoming something she could carry. "You feel it," the balanced figure said. She nodded slowly. "I'm leaving." "Not leaving," they corrected. "Returning?" Her chest tightened. For the first time since she arrived, fear returned, not the old fear, not the one that made her shrink, but something deeper. What if she forgot? What if the world outside pulled her back into silence? What if she became that version again? As if hearing her thoughts, the figure stepped closer. "You're afraid this will disappear." She didn't answer. "You think this place exists somewhere you can lose?" The truth of that stung. The figure's voice softened. "But this world was never around you. It was within you. And now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it." The ground beneath her glowed one last time, a quiet reassurance. "Will I come back?" she asked, a small smile. "You don't need to come back," they said. "You need to be." The light around her began to dissolve into soft fragments, drifting like glowing dust into the air. The city, the sky, the silence, it all folded inward. Not vanishing, but returning to her. Her chest pulsed, steady, alive. "Go!" the figure whispered. She closed her eyes, and for the first time, she didn't hold on. She let go. Chapter 13, The Weight of Reality. She woke up gasping. The ceiling above her was familiar, still, silent, real. No glowing sky, no silver light, no doorway, just her room. Her chest rose and fell quickly, as if her body hadn't caught up with where she was. The air felt heavier here, thicker, grounded, almost too quiet after everything she had just felt. For a moment, she didn't move, afraid it would all slip away. Slowly, she placed a hand over her chest. There, still there, not bright, not overwhelming, but steady, alive. She sat up, the world around her, unchanged, same walls, same space, same life waiting for her to step back into it. But something inside her refused to feel the same. It was subtle, but undeniable. She looked around her room, really looked this time. The small details she used to ignore the quiet corners. The soft light through the window. The stillness that once felt empty. Now it felt honest. But as she stood, something else crept in. Doubt. Not loud, not overwhelming, just a whisper. Was it real? Or just a dream you wanted to believe in? Her chest tightened slightly. The warmth flickered. For a second, she almost reached for her old habits to dismiss it, to shrink, to move on as if nothing had changed. Almost. But she didn't. Instead, she took a slow breath, then another. I felt it, she said quietly to herself. That's enough. The doubt didn't disappear, but it didn't take over either. She walked to the mirror in her room, not floating, not glowing, just ordinary. Her reflection stared back tired eyes, soft expression, a trace of something new beneath it all. Not confidence, not yet, but awareness. She didn't look away. I'm still here, she whispered, and this time, she believed it just a little more. Outside her room, the world waited, unchanged. But she wasn't. And for the first time, that scared her and excited her at the same time. Chapter 14. Old patterns, new eyes. The world hadn't changed. That was the first thing she noticed. Morning came the same way light slipping quietly through the window, the distant hum of life moving on without asking if she was ready. The sounds, the rhythm, the expectations, all exactly as they had always been. But she wasn't. She stepped into her day carefully, like someone learning how to walk in a place she had lived in her whole life. At work, the same voices filled the room, conversations layered over each other, familiar and predictable. She took her usual seat, her hands resting lightly in her lap, and then it happened. A moment she knew too well. A question was asked. Silence followed. Her thoughts formed instantly clear, sharp, ready. The answer sat right there, waiting. Her chest tightened. The old instinct rose like muscle memory. Stay quiet. Let someone else speak. It's easier that way. She felt it fully this time. Not just the thought, but the weight behind it. The years of choosing silence. The quiet shrinking. The safety that never really felt safe. Her fingers curled slightly. This was it. Not a dream. Not a glowing world. A simple moment. A real choice. Her heart began to race not from fear alone, but from awareness. She could feel both paths at once, the familiar one and the new one. The room waited, and for once, so did she. Not frozen, not afraid, just aware. Then softly, almost unexpectedly, she spoke. Her voice wasn't loud. It wasn't perfect, but it was hers. The words left her lips and settled into the room. No one reacted dramatically. No sudden shift. No applause. Just a pause. Then the conversation continued, but something inside her had changed. She hadn't disappeared. She sat there, her heart still beating fast, her breath uneven, but her chest felt lighter. Not because the world changed, because she did. Later, as she caught her reflection in a passing surface, she paused. Same face, same eyes, but something deeper had shifted. She didn't look smaller anymore, and for the first time, she didn't look away. Chapter 15, the first real choice. It didn't happen in a quiet moment. It happened when it mattered. The air felt heavier that day. Not because anything had changed, but because she could feel everything now. Every word, every tone, every unspoken expectation. And then it came. A request. Simple on the surface, but she knew what it carried. Can you just handle it? It's easier if you do. The words were casual, familiar, almost harmless, but she felt it. The weight. Quiet pressure to say yes, to take more than she could hold, to choose peace over truth again. Her chest tightened. The old version of her didn't hesitate. She would have smiled, nodded, said it's okay. Even if it wasn't, the answer was already forming on her lips. Yes, but something stopped her. Not fear, not doubt. Awareness. It rose slowly, steady and clear. The memory of the mirror. The voice that said, "Stop abandoning yourself." The feeling of finally being whole. Her hands trembled slightly. This wasn't like speaking up once. This had consequence. This could change how people saw her, how they treated her, what they expected next time. The room waited. And inside here, two versions stood again. One familiar, one new. The familiar one whispered, "Don't make this harder. Just agree." The new one didn't whisper. It simply stood. Steady, quiet, certain. Her breath slowed. She looked up, and for the first time, she didn't search for approval. "I can't take that on right now," she said softly. Silence. Not dramatic, not loud, but real. A small shift in the air. A flicker of surprise. A pause that stretched, just long enough to feel uncomfortable. Her heart pounded, but she didn't take it back. She didn't explain. She didn't shrink. She stayed, and slowly the moment passed. Someone else spoke. The conversation moved on. The world didn't break, but something inside her opened. It wasn't loud. It wasn't overwhelming, but it was undeniable. She had chosen herself. Not in a dream. Not in a perfect world. Here, where it mattered. And for the first time, it felt right.